All right, this conference is about opportunity. And as young leaders, the thing that's going to separate, what I have learned is one of the things that separates average and good students from great students is people who take advantage of opportunity. See, one of the problems is that we could put information out to 5,000 people, only 4 people are going to actually apply. They all got the email. They all eligible. It's a great opportunity, but only 4 go. Now, that's for a litany of different reasons, right? You didn't read your email. You don't think you qualify. You don't know if you're good enough. You think you're too busy, right? All of this. But you ever looked on social or looked on your school website and some student is going to Germany and the school is paying for it, or somebody got an internship with Sprint or AT&T or at Google, and you'd be like, dang, how do people get these opportunities? Well, the reason that happens is because people take advantage of opportunity. So it goes like this. You go to the Unite conference, you get the information, you connect with one of the speakers. The speaker, when they have an opportunity in their universe, they reach back out to you and say, hey, student who connected me at this conference, I've got an opportunity to go to get your PhD for free. Would you be interested? That student says yes and actually does the application. You take advantage of the opportunities and it takes you to places you can't even imagine. So when you in this conference, y'all, you should have notebooks full of notes of all the stuff you got to follow up on, all the applications, anytime somebody say something, mention a book, anything, you write it down so that you could get that. Now that's my big thing. If I'm talking to somebody, I'm doing a training and somebody mentions a book, I write that down because I love reading. Now, I mean, that's where all of the answers are to the test in the book. Ooh, that's a whole speech, Shanice. I'm gonna have to think on that. If you read, that's where you get the answers for the test in life too. Ooh, okay. All right. So now let me get into my little talk here. So first we're gonna talk about resilience. When we talk about resilience, one of the biggest things people always think is getting over setbacks, getting over adversity, right? That's what comes to mind. I'm resilient. I don't give up. I'm gonna keep going. And that's a huge part of resilience. But the other part my part that I want y'all to understand today is that failure and setbacks and adversity actually help you on your journey. See, that's the thing. Your generation especially is different because everything is on social media. So what happens is if you reach for something and you fail, it feels bad, right? Everybody been there. You tried something, you failed, it felt bad. Well, the bigger a thing you reach for, the bigger the failure. Y'all with me? But because failure feels bad, we don't want to reach for something big because that means the bigger failure feels even worse. And now it's on social media.
You preaching, Duncan, already.
So because the failures are bigger when you reach for something big, and we associate failure with pain, with feeling less than, with the bad feelings, we stop reaching for big things. So we reach for little things. So if I say, what's your goal next year in school, Janae, Miss Witt, what's your goal? She'd say, I want to go from being a C student to a B student. Well, that's a good goal, right? But that ain't something to reach for. You just need to do your homework, okay? Right? When I say, what's your goal, Miss Witt, Miss Witt should be saying, next year, I'm going to have the highest GPA at the school. My department is going to give me a scholarship that I didn't even know existed, and I'm going to present at 3 different conferences that the school pays for. That's a goal. But if you can't even say it, if you can't even get the energy behind it to work for it, it's not possible. But guess what? If you do, it's 100% possible for you to do that. Does that make sense, y'all? That the failures and the setbacks we go through, they're actually teaching us on our journey to success. They're not meant to break us. They're meant to build us. So like I'll take y'all all back to an example you can relate to. You remember when you learn how to ride a bike? We all learn how to ride a bike, right? You grab that bike, you feel me? And your dad, your mom, your big brother, somebody holding the bike, they're helping you out, right? And then for the first time of the day, they let go. What happens? You fall, right? Fall over, you hit the ground, it hurts. You feel me? When you hit the ground, it hurts, y'all, right? But you get back up, you get back on the bike, feel me? Grab the handlebars, they grab the bike, they help you out. This time when they let go, you go a little further, then you fall again. And this just keeps happening till eventually you get the balance. Here's the lesson though. It's the falling off the bike that helped you get the balance. Do y'all get the thumbs up? Does that make sense? That the falling is part of the learning process. So you don't got to feel bad. Set outrageous goals. Set magnanimous goals. When people ask you, what do you want to do next year? What's your goal for this year? What do you want to be when you finish college, whatever? Your answer should be so big, it should make them uncomfortable. So you got to be brave enough to go for it and not broken when you fail. Run towards the setbacks and the adversity. Set goals that are outrageous and run towards them. And if you fail, you're going to be amazing because you failed. You're going to learn more because you failed. You'll be stronger because you failed. Just like when you had to find your balance when you was riding a bike. All right. Now I'm getting real metaphysical. This is straight metaphysics, straight earthiness. Like I told y'all, I'm a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a hood dude that has been educated. All right. So the law of attraction is not positive or negative. The law is simply like attracts like. That means things that are similar are attracted to each other. That's all it means. If you are negative and petty and childish, you will attract people who are negative and petty and childish. That is the law of attraction. If you are positive, you will attract positive people. If you're kind, you will attract people being kind to you. All it means is like forces attract towards each other. So they've spun that and they've told you the good side of it, which is when you visualize something, when you think about something all the time, you work towards it, you put your energy towards it, you are bringing that thing towards you because you are embodying the energy of that reality that you're trying to create. So you're bringing it into existence. Those like forces, the reality, and you thinking about it and visualizing and putting your energy to it are coming together. Wait, I'm not even talking about that. That's not part of my lesson today, okay? The reason I brought that up is because the law of attraction is what everybody kind of references when they talk about spirituality and manifestation. I want to manifest this. Everybody want to manifest like they're a genie, right? We want to manifest everything, right? Just positive this, think positive. It's all good, right? Okay, that's cool. I'm not knocking it, okay? I'm saying there's more steps. So it's yes and, all right? So there's the law of attraction, but guess what, y'all? There are other universal laws. That's the thing we missed. So you hear the law of attraction and you're like, oh yeah, the law of attraction. Like attracts like, positivity, yeah, manifest, right? All of that. But there's a bunch of other laws too, y'all. It's like a whole list of universal laws. So I'm about to tell you about the next one, which is called the law of three. This one is to help you understand why people hate on you as student leaders. So at any time a phenomenon is going to happen in existence, there are three forces all happening simultaneously. There is a positive force, there is a neutral force or sustaining force, and there's a negative force at all times, always. So the law of three, the reason you got haters is when you're trying to do something positive and elevate, there has to be a force pulling against that, or else y'all all be rich right now. So I'm trying to get y'all to understand that you as student leaders, it is not possible for you to be a student leader. It's not possible for you to be successful and not have people trying to detract against you, not have resistance. Y'all want a book recommendation? Read The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Talks about the resistance that we have to fight through in order to accomplish things. So the law of three, I want you to know about that whatever you do, anytime you move forward, there is going to be a negative, an opposing force to you trying to be great, to you trying to change the school. And sometimes it's confusing because you're like, I'm doing something to help y'all fools. I used to be at Alabama State as a president, and I'm like, I'm trying to do something to help y'all, and y'all fighting me, right? But I didn't know what I know now, which is there has to be an opposing force. There has to be resistance for that other force, that positive force to exist. I'm telling that to you so the next time you have that hater say something on Snapchat in the group chat, or you see somebody say something on Facebook or in the email thread or whatever that's passive aggressive or whatever, you don't take that personal. That person has to exist for you to keep growing, for you to keep shining. So if you don't got people detracting, hating on you, that means you ain't doing nothing. I mean, you're not trying to accomplish something. You're not moving forward. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is the law of accident. Now, we just going down the rabbit hole. We just going further and further. Okay. So 99% of people on this planet live in what's called live under the law of accident. The law of accident means that people are existing and random things are happening. And so we react to the random things that are happening in existence like robots. Like we have programmed reactions to things. So right now, if I come off of mute and I say, Miss Miller, you ratchet because you got a bonnet on, right? I come off of mute and I say that about you, right? You have a programmed reaction to how you should feel about me saying that. Now you feel less than. Now you feel insecure. Now you want to turn your camera off or take the bonnet off, right? There's a programmed reaction to a thing that just happened. Like if I say it right now, everybody, let's pray. What y'all gonna do? Put your hands together, bow your head, right? That's a programmed reaction, right? So things happen, we react to it based on how we're programmed to react. But there's a small percent of people, y'all, and this ain't the rich people only. Because see, rich people commit suicide too. So I don't want you to think that I'm talking about just money, okay? I'm talking about joy. I'm talking about happiness. But there's a small percentage of people that don't live in the law of accident. It's a small percentage of people who live through their willpower, where they create the world that they want to live in, that their actions and inertia is dictating the world around them. You ever heard somebody say the quote, you can't control the world, you can only control how you react to things? I used to tell people that when I was younger and stupid. Like I used to say that like that was some powerful quote. Oh, you can't control the world, but what you can control is how you react to it. That's stupid. You actually do control your world. You are the biggest factor in determining what your world looks like. You create it. Like life is going to happen. There's going to be things happen. That's the law of accident where something happens and now you have to react to that. Or you're going to dictate what's going to happen.